It's the Stand On It podcast. It's true.
Come and sit down, you gotta stand on it. If it's for certain, let's have around, you gotta stand on it. Open the curtain, it's going down, you gotta stand on it. Cause I put my stamp on it, so you gotta stand. You gotta stand on it. 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 You gotta stand.
Yeah, welcome to another episode. We're doing it a little different this time. As I told y'all 2 weeks ago, taking a break from the regular format of the Stand On It podcast, and I'm bringing in some people who I respect their perspectives so we can sit down and get to the bottom of some of these subjects and topics that you ain't gonna hear anywhere else. So today I got my man here, 1/3 of the trifecta, the Talk is Talk podcast. Introduce yourself to the people.
What's good? This your boy Hail Mary, like he said, from the Talk is Talk podcast. I've been checking in on this Stand On It podcast, boy, and I've been having a few things to say, boy. My man said I got to get you on here so we can talk about it.
We're going to talk about it. Like, you ain't getting a little shy as you.
No, hell no.
When the lights come on, don't get shy. But, hey, so a little something to break the ice. I'm going to just throw out 3 quick topics, and I want you to tell me the first word you think of, just one word, and then I want you to elaborate on why you chose that word. First topic, and I'm going to do it too. First topic, when you hear the phrase, make America great again, what's the one word that automatically comes to your mind?
Trump.
Why?
Campaign slogan.
Okay. For me, it's freedom. I think about freedom because I think when people think about making America great again, to me in my lifetime, that's when America was great. When you was able to speak freely and everybody ain't so offended about everything. But I hate that it's tied to Trump because, yeah, Trump is the one who recently said it, but Bill Clinton said that back when he was running his presidential campaign. So,
yeah, okay. I see how the game going. But yes, I see how the game going. Let me get my high level hat on right quick. You know what I'm saying? But as far as first thing came to mind, Trump campaign slow. You know, it was something simple for you right there, right? Mm-hmm. But as far as being a African American foundational black man here in America, we've still never been free. You know what I mean? But I hear what you're saying though.
Okay.
At some point, you did have a little bit more free speech. Is what now they bringing it back some now.
Right. Culture.
Yeah. Dead.
Why?
It's dictated by social media now.
That's a good one. That's a real good one. For me, it's destruction.
Okay.
Because people always talk about, oh, we doing it for the culture, but all we really doing is destroying the culture. So
I can go with you on that. I can definitely go with you on that.
Last one, black leaders.
Few and far between.
Okay. Why?
Let me say this. Few. Mm-hmm. Why? Because we don't know what to look at for the leaders.
Okay. I can respect that. For me, it's irrelevant. Where are they? You know?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's straight irrelevant. So I just wanted to kind of do that as a little icebreaker before we dive in a little deeper into these topics. But one of the things, and we done had some good conversations offline that y'all ain't been privy to. Yeah. That he done gave me his perspectives, and like I say, I got a lot of respect for his perspectives because he's had me think about things deeper, especially if he called me about something I said on the episode. He like, nah, I don't agree with that. But, you know, we're able to talk about it. And see, that's another thing that's really lacking in the community. People can't communicate without somebody getting offended or, want to even take it to another level when it's just about perspectives, man. So let's hop right into it. When we looking at the black community, and it seems like it's become this hopeless arena that people are just getting more and more comfortable performing in. And that's all it's really turned into, is like a performance. And I want to play this video. Y'all look at the screen. It's my man talking about how he's viewed in the black community.
Scott, you need to do a poll on blacks hating other blacks. Let me break it down to you. If a black person is in the hood and he's planning on going to medical school, the other ones will try to do everything to hold him back. They'll call him a sellout. He's not keeping it real. Or if another guy that want to get into the stock market, make money, open up a business, they're going to do everything to put shackles on his feet. They will shame you. They will call you a sellout. I mean, it's a big war with blacks against blacks, and when they look at me like I'm a threat. I carry myself like a human being. I treat everybody nice. I like the finer things in life. But yet, they'll call me a sellout quick. I'm more of a danger to them because I'm showing them what could happen. The things they could accomplish by being a positive person. They do not want to hear that.
So, he said a lot, man. Like, the black community, and I feel like this too, like, we're our biggest hater amongst each other. What you think?
Yeah, and see, understand this too now. I'm looking at that as propaganda against his people. Because, like I said earlier, we got leaders. It depends on where you're looking at. And a leader is anybody who will got people to follow them, right?
Right.
Okay, when you start talking about activists, you try to activate the people to make a change. You know what I'm saying? But you talking about as far as a black leader, I mean, it's a bunch out there. You know what I mean? But you got to be in that world. You know what I'm saying? You got to dig into that world. You can't just look at these little snippets and sound bites and, and make your decision based off, which I'm guilty of that as well.
Right.
But, not so much now. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to pretty much dig into any and everybody that I see got the people attention. Whether they got attention for a good reason or, or for a laughable moment.
Right.
I want to dig deeper into it. But with that guy right there, though, I'm going to say this. You saying that, I mean, where you at, though? Because where I come from, I get what he's saying about the crabs in the barrel. But that's not always the case. We can't, just like we can't judge one white person, call them all racist. You can't judge the black race like that either. Now you can't put that blanket on them. Cause I'm not like that. You know what I'm saying? You not like that.
Now, think about that. Take it back to this. I remember times in school, I was smart as hell, but sometimes I would dumb down my smartness because the shit didn't look cool. You know what I'm saying? And now that I look back on it, that was dumb as hell on my part.
Right.
But I done went to school with people like that coming up, elementary, junior high, that smart as hell, but you didn't want that on display because it's like, man, you're a nerd. And you'll get that kind of moniker on yourself. And even in the adult thing, it's like, hey, if you're not doing this, yeah, you're a square.
You're a square, yeah.
But why? You don't see people who ain't looking like us talking like that.
Yeah. Okay, now that you said, you kind of brought some context to it. And where I'm at right now, I don't even want to be around them.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be around them kind of people because they can get dangerous.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
They can get dangerous. I said this on our show, probably a month ago or something. I said, but really, them broke homeboys when we was younger, really we should have got rid of them.
Cut them loose.
If they had the same opportunities you had, the same hustle opportunities that you had to, I mean, whether you hustling, getting a job, hustling in the streets, whatever, they right there with you, but they never actually getting over the hump.
Right.
Either it be bad money management or whatever, but they right there with you. But you keeping those people around, but they'll come back and get you.
Yeah.
You know, in the worst way.
Right.
So I don't even associate with those people unless I'm trying to enlighten them on something. You know what I'm saying? Try to tell them a reason why you don't have to be like that. Because once he come up, then you can come up.
Right.
You know what I mean? We start thinking about it like that. If this dude get out the hood, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he can come back and get somebody. Now, you can't get up there now. You can't get out the hood and then start looking down on everybody because that's where that rhetoric come from. That type of stuff like that right there. But I'm going to give you an example right quick. And I'm used to talking, man, so you know, shut me up. You know what I mean? I got my son, right? He got in quote-unquote trouble in school the other day. But he said the teacher singled out him and another student, which was of color, in an all-white class and said, these are the examples of bad students. Right? Okay. I know my son now. I said, so what did y'all do? You know what I mean? He said, yeah, we busted out laughing. We kind of disrupted class. But we didn't start a disruption. We just jumped in on it. And we was the one that got singled out. I said, so what you do when you got singled out? He said, we held up the black fist. Still held the black fist. But that's me coming out of him, right? I said, oh, okay. I said, well, you know, there's time and place for everything. I said, right then, y'all in the classroom setting, so chill out. Well, the principal ended up calling me a couple of days after that, right? You know, because I went up there because I was pissed off. She called me and she said, yeah, what he said to those boys was wrong, right? You know, what the teacher said. And we had an extensive conversation about what he said to him, right? Okay. We talked about some other stuff. But either way, when I got on the phone with her, I'm like, boy, you got a lot of... You part of the reason this class is like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can hear it coming out of her. And she know who she talking to. So she's not trying to say something. She tiptoeing around me because she don't have to deal with me before. Right? But even after all that, I can tell that my son had a lot to do with what's going on in that class. So I told him this. You know, not a coin from the flip. I was on your side. But now let's get down to the, you know what I mean, get down to the nuts and bolts of it. I said, you got a aura about yourself to where people like to be around you. No matter where you go, what school you go to, you know, people just like to be around you. They like to hear you talk. I said, you can use that in a positive way.
Right.
You don't have to always be disruptive. You can be a leadership and get the class to chill out. Right. I said, if they're going to follow you, they're going to follow you either way you going, whether you're going positive or negative, which it might be a little more work to get them to follow you, you know, husbands, you know, calm the class down. But as far as that negative stuff, anybody can do that, Alex. Anybody can jump up there in front of the class and make them laugh, you know, if they really want to. But I said all that to say this, I guess. We got to change the narrative of that right now. We got to change that narrative. We can't sit back and act like that's what it is and that's what it's going to be. Because now the adults, like people always tell me, I be wasting my time talking to them. But talking to kids, talking to my kids at least, at this point, I feel like we can get out of that crab in the barrel mentality.
That's a perfect segue because that's why I wanted to break it down in the three areas: the kids, the parents, and then the village. But before we get into the kids, let me ask you this. So we talked about the leaders, right? You said, well, you know, if you in that world, you'll see the black leaders. Who are the black leaders?
Well, okay, I'm gonna give you a few of them here. I'm gonna go Dr. Umar Johnson, right? And people make, you know, they laugh at Dr. Umar Johnson. They make fun of him because he talks. Yeah, I mean, he talk kind of crazy. I did the same thing until I dug and actually went and started watching some of them 3-hour-long videos. Start reading up on him. Start, you know, instead of getting the sound bites, I start getting the meat and spitting out the bone. Yeah, he is a Pan-African. So he not gonna agree with everything because he died with Pan-Africanism,
Okay.
right? But Dr. Umar Johnson, though,
You think he's a black leader?
I think he is a black, and he got followers now.
Yeah.
He got followers.
So does-
Everybody not clowning him.
You're a black man. I'm a black man. We got social media. We got followers.
But nah, he got people donating to his school.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he got people
Right.
giving him money, stuff like that. And any good leader gonna take money from the people so he can keep leading. You got Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed, Foundation of Black American.
Okay.
Right? Okay. He just opened up the the Foundation of Black American Museum out there in California. He got followers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he on something totally different when Dr. Umar on now.
Right.
See, I think we get it mixed up because we start thinking about Malcolm, Martin, and those type of leaders.
I'm
right?
the ones who on the front line who we polarize.
But see, that's the thing though. You polarize them in a different era. But get deep on this though. Everybody wasn't down with what Malcolm was saying. It was only a few.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Martin had more of the masses on it, but he also had the white dollar behind him as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he also had the machine, he had a money machine behind him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy to get people to follow you when you got that kind of money. But as far as with Malcolm, most of if you go back and ask your mama right now, how come we didn't follow Malcolm X or Nation of Islam? 9 times out of 10, your parents gonna be like, well, yeah, he taught hate. You know what I mean? Because that's the propaganda they put out there on him, was that he taught hate. So you can't compare today's leaders to that.
Well, let me ask you this: what's the purpose? What's one of the main purposes of a leader, or the sign of a good leader?
Educated. And I ain't talking about from no school. I mean, yeah, school education is good too, but somebody who's well read, who's done their research, and you can fact check what they saying. You can bank on what they saying. So to me, a well spoken, well read person, that's the first side of a good leader.
But shouldn't their purpose be to create other leaders?
But see, everybody, that's the thing. It's only 3% of the people in this world that's actually built to lead.
You're right, but you mean to tell me all these people who following them, they can't create another leader out of it?
Who was Martin second in command?
I don't think he had one really that was
So
identified.
I can't think of him either.
And that's
you know
my
what I mean?
point. Like, even if we look at Jesse Jackson, we look at Al Sharpton, they old. Who can we identify? That's why I've been said for years, black leaders, we don't need them.
And see, understand this now. When you go talk about Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, those are political leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
before the politics, they was trying to be like they were activists. Before,
I think they were just doing that to get into politics. Right?
hey,
Okay. Now you take somebody like Martin or Malcolm. Malcolm, what I'm talking about more so than anything, he wasn't down with the politics thing. Democrat.
Right.
He'll tell you in a minute, I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican, nor am I an American. You know what I mean? Martin went with the Democratic side because they seemed to be wanting to give him
what he was looking for.
what he was looking for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What he was looking for. But even today, if Martin and Malcolm was out, well, Malcolm would shine no matter what. You know what I mean? I think more so today than he did even in what he did in his time. Now Martin, I think y'all be looking at Martin Luther King like an Al Sharpton or somebody like that right now. I mean, I can't say that for sure, but I really do believe that.
Well, that's the reason, really, that Martin was killed, because he was about to change. He realized I fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he realized that shit. He wasn't with that same message, but that's not what they go make known to people so they could see. But the point I wanted to make with that leadership, that's exactly how it falls back into the black community, because now the people who strategically were put in place and who historically we looked at, they leaders, they never created anybody else. And so what that leads to is like when you look at a leader and they not creating another leader or somebody else to pass the baton to, it's like you don't want to share information. That's so pertinent right now in the black community. People don't want to share information. Like, boy, he can't get no further than me. Now I bring him up to here, but I ain't gonna share nothing with him that may open him up to go further than I went.
And understand that a lot of us was raised like that, right? We was taught that right from the giddy up. But I'm gonna say this: our generation, I don't think we as bad as our parents was with that.
But see, my parents weren't like that, because I told you I came up in that religion, man.
Oh, okay.
So I went to church integrated. It was just as many white folks in church as with black people. So it wasn't never, I never saw the like, I'm in this Southern Baptist church and we don't deal with white folk. No, that I was always around them. You know what I mean?
So you had, okay, so I know this because I'm an avid listener of the podcast, Stand On It podcast. I didn't even know that Jehovah's Witnesses was integrated like that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and like, you know how most churches will have like Sunday school for the kids? Nah, everybody learn together. Like, ain't no room where the kids go. You got babies out there, toddlers, everything, every age group, and you got black, white, Chinese, Hispanic, everybody together.
That's
now, if they don't have a second language or English, then they have the Chinese Jehovah's Witnesses and they have the Mexican Jehovah's Witnesses. But if they speak English, we all integrated together. Yeah. So I never saw that division.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said the most segregated hour in America is Sunday at 11 o'clock.
Hey, yeah, it's some truth in it. Basically, it is. But yeah, so if we look at now, we transition back to what you said about the kids. What? And a lot of people feel the same.
Hold on, let me go back to this though.
Okay.
Because I'll let you finish, but I lost my train of thought.
All right.
Now you saying they not producing, the next leader, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody that's a leader is not built to be in front of this camera or in front of that microphone. Some people do lead from,
the back.
From the back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They lead. Yeah. They might be back there leading the guy peeling potatoes, but they
still leading.
You know what I'm saying? They still lead. So everybody, this is to be able to speak in front of people and be able to talk to people, that is a gift. Now, that's a gift from God. Right? You can be taught that somewhat in school with public speaking and all that, but your electrifying speakers, they got that from it's a gift from God. So you can't just cause I don't think nobody ever would be able to talk to the black community as good as Malcolm X did. Nobody would be able to talk to the Germans as good as Hitler. Right? Nobody, Obama was our closest. Obama a good speaker, right? And anybody who know me or listen to the podcast know I wasn't for Obama, but for the good speaker, he got it.
So is the devil.
Devil good speaker too, right? They got it. They got it.
We looking at like people speaking, but that's what I'm saying. Like again, these folks out here, and some people have murdered me for that. How the hell you say we don't need black leaders? Like, call me a sellout, stuff like that. Because the only thing I'm trying to figure out is what are they leading us to? Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like, I can't figure out what I'm being led to. Like, when I listen to them, what are my takeaways?
Okay.
Like, we just regurgitating the same thing that Malcolm said or Martin said, but it's hard for me to remember a quote. You can think of a quote from Martin Luther King. You could think of a quote from Malcolm. I can't think of nothing from Al Sharpton or damn Jesse Jackson.
You see, man, what I'm saying, man, Don't forget Jason Jackson. Now he had what do he have? I got a Jason Jackson shirt, T-shirt. I got like 2 years ago.
That shit today.
Yeah, I should have worn it. But like I said though, we got to. Y'all get. Like I said, man, we got these leaders, and like I called out Tariq Nasheed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if you go listen to him, what you can grab from him, he on his reparations still. Mm-hmm. He letting you know that whenever the Europeans came over here, we came too. So this is just as much as our land as it is theirs.
How you feel about reparations?
Let me tell you this, man. I study a lot, but I don't really subscribe to anything, and that's the problem. Even though I'm saying we do got black leaders, they don't get along. If you get what I'm saying, like Tariq Nasheed had to slap a Morris guy the other day. I'm talking about like 2 weeks ago. The ones that we do got, and that's when I did start getting discouraged. When I went and found out black leaders and I seen they were beefing each other, I was like, oh Lord, but we really ain't got. It's hard. Yeah. It's gonna be tough. But as far as the way I feel about reparations, if God forbid, if something happened to you right now, whatever money that you owe on whatever you paying on, that's gonna be passed down to the next person. Or you don't have to pay it out your insurance money or whatever. It's got to be paid, don't it?
It gotta be. I'm talking about like from the standpoint of people like, yo, we owe this in California trying to get something going where they
California
giving folks,
is getting something going. Yeah,
giving folks. How you feel about that? Like,
I mean, I'm feeling like this country, this nation is not as big or as powerful it is without the 200 plus years of free labor that you had. So everybody else, they dropped the bomb on Japan, Hiroshima. They paid them. They paid them tremendously. Even when the Haitians revolted and took their land back, they had to pay France for tearing up their plants. So why shouldn't America have to pay the black African that they brought over here for the labor that they put in, that their ancestors put in? Because they paid Japan, those people were long gone. You killed them.
word.
You know what I mean? So you paid their family that money, right? Even this, when I'm finna give you one here, which you probably already know this one, but I'm finna give it to the people there.
Okay.
When slavery ended, your big slave owners, your plantation owners, your plantation owners, they was paid reparations for losing their slaves. So they got paid because they losing free labor now. So we got to get them a bulk of money. So everybody getting paid except for the black American. So yeah, I believe that they should try to make it right. Okay. Now, Dr. Umar don't believe that now. Dr. Umar don't believe that. But I'm just telling you, I do believe they should try to make it right some kind of way.
I don't think we should get reparations. To me, it look like back pay welfare. Because now we look at like if we capable, and to me, and this probably people go take this wrong.
I'm gonna speak for the people there.
Yeah, that's in the past, and I feel like if we looking back to that, that's another thing. I think we get so caught up in waiting on our just due, what's owed, instead of worrying about this is what's going on now. Take the ability you have, plant your feet in the sand, make your own path moving forward. Like, stop sitting around waiting for something to happen, waiting for somebody else to make it happen for you. And I think that's what's crippled us so much as a culture. Like, boy, we gotta get reparations. Or, boy, if I could just get the opportunity of the white man, boy, that would be, if I had the same opportunities they had, And I just think we setting the wrong precedent now that we got all this reparations talk going.
And see, okay. I'm gonna speak. I guess I'm gonna speak for the people then.
Yeah, talk to him.
This ain't welfare. This was actual labor, right?
Yeah.
This is labor. Okay. Well, after that, right? Well, after that, you still have to oppress people. Now to sit around and wait. No, I don't agree with that. You know what I mean? Because I mean, you can wait till the cows come home. These folks still might not give you a dime. But the people who actually fighting for it, I respect that. But they ain't sitting around waiting on it. You know what I mean? They ain't sitting around. And see, when you call it welfare, no, welfare, you're not really working for that money. This money was, hey, look, I'm going to tell you this. You lost more black people in American slavery than any Jewish person in the Holocaust. You lost way more. I mean, millions and millions. It was 80 million brought over here on the slave trade. By the time it was all said and done, went for 20. So, and you know, they had to pay the Jewish people for the Holocaust. You know what I mean? They got paid for that. So
Yeah.
I don't think we should be sitting around waiting because we already know who the oppressor is, and we know he more than likely is not gonna make it right. But
Think about recent though. We can go back to when COVID kicked off. I know people, I ain't gonna call names, but I know people who wasn't nothing wrong with them. They could have went back to work. They sitting around waiting on that $900 every week to come for that unemployment. There's nothing wrong with them. You can go and work. Or the people who, boy, I'm getting my stimulus. I ain't down that job. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the mentality. And that's what I'm saying when we look at leadership. Like, somebody should be calling us out. Like, we are not victims. You know what I'm saying?
and see, you're not going. I don't even really know how you can say we are not a victim.
I don't feel like I'm a victim. I don't.
But I don't think you speak for the masses though.
And that's fine.
Of the race, because and I ain't got no problem with them taking that 900. They took free labor for the federal government, which is still intact. Mm-hmm. They took hundreds of years of free money because that's free money that they got, right? Okay, so they passed a few of it back out. So I ain't got no problem with not the problem became was when we just gave it right back to them. That's where the problem lies. That a lot of us didn't make nothing out of that.
It was for the economy.
Let me tell you this. Hey, I took that 900. I lost my job. I got fired, motherfucker, in January, right?
Yeah.
So they started giving out that 900 in February or something, or 2020 or March.
I think I started hearing about it then. Yeah.
So what was happening was I was getting my employment anyway, and they put that extra on that shit. I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let me get that. I ain't been back and work on nobody's job since.
But look what you did with it though.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody didn't do that.
Right.
Everybody didn't do that. But see, that's where you got to get into some of your black financial leaders, the ones who teaching you about money management and you know how to manage money and you know all this dumb spending. You know what I'm saying? Which that's one of our biggest crutches, and that comes from quote unquote the culture.
Okay.
Our spending habits. Our spending habits come from quote unquote the culture. The culture dictates that we overspend. So
latest and greatest. So
man, don't see. Look, that's what I'm saying. You can't put everybody in that box, man.
I'm not trying
for that
to.
900.
I'm just saying, like that. That's just how I felt about it. Like, hey, if I lost my job and it's there, absolutely. Yeah. But I'm gonna be looking at what I can do to get. I'm an able-bodied man.
Right.
I'm not just about to sit down and wait for somebody to make some shake for me.
Nigga doing all kind of stuff that,
boy, getting crazy. And now it's coming back around.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man, the PPP loans, all that bullshit, man. But that's the same stuff that I say, like, and I was having this talk with my homeboy earlier. I'm like, man, the lack of accountability that we have, like, and that's one thing. I have some strict ass parents, but that's one thing, they would not allow us to make no excuses. It wasn't an option. Like, if you make an excuse, I might have to sit down at the table and write a paragraph or write sentences. Like, that's just how it was. Don't make no excuses, boy. Like, go figure this shit out. Do it.
And see, let me say this. That's a damn good upbringing, man.
Yeah.
That's more what I'm doing now. That ain't what I came up with, though.
Right.
I'm 43. I come up when that crack era was booming. Okay. 90% of black people was affected by this crack era, right? Yeah. In one way or another, whether it was your uncle come by stealing stuff, you know what I mean? Whether most of us, it was right in our household, or it was a reason why our parents weren't in our household, right? So coming up in that crack era, it was all about survival. So if I'm gonna say my parents taught me anything, they taught me how to survive more than structure. And I'm gonna tell you this, that will hurt you now. Just knowing how to survive, because you'll get in that waiting place. Oh, I'm straight now. Yeah. You'll get in that waiting place.
Yeah.
A few hours, you'll think you straight.
For sure.
But you don't know the storm coming.
It's coming. Yeah.
But with you having that upbringing, that, you know, that put a lot of perspective on it, why you might see things a little different, right? But I don't knock nobody's upbringing. You know what I'm saying? If you came up rich, good for you. I know you got your problems too.
Hell yeah. You know that shit.
When I started hanging around, when I got older and I got around some people who was well to do, and I got to listen to some of their childhood stories versus some of mine, give me mine. Give me mine. Because yours was sick. Yours was, I don't think I could have handled your problems.
Yeah. And it's just interesting, man, when you see perspectives. I remember people coming up, when I was coming up, they would be envious and be like, boy, I wish I had your life. Meanwhile, I'm looking at them like, I wish I had your life. Right. I don't want to fucking go to church 3 times a week. I don't want to go out knocking on people's doors on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Y'all get to
sleeping
chill.
in on Saturdays.
Yeah, y'all chilling, watching cartoons. Y'all can go to the football games. Y'all can do all that shit. I can't do none of that.
Right.
So, yeah, it is perspectives, but the kids, man. So we talked about, like, hey, maybe a lot of adults are lost cause. What can we do, or what do you feel need to be done to help the kids?
Okay. I was all about this. And see, when you go on this conscience journey, because I haven't always talked like this, I promise you.
Right.
But when you go on this conscious journey, I find myself having to redact a lot sometimes. You know, I'm having to. I used to scream this out all the time. Abortions are taking us out. Right. Abortions. I'm against abortions. Abortions target black people, which they do.
Good.
Which they do.
Yeah.
Okay, all people have abortion. I'm not saying that, but it's target. They target us with it, right? Because we are a very fruitful people. We reproduce like that. Every race can't do that, and that's just facts, right? But when you start talking about having a better life and getting out of this cycle, right? We got to. You got kids raising kids.
Boy, talk that. Yup.
Your brain is not developed until you are 25, right? According to science, your brain's not fully developed until you're 25. But what you got is, you got 16, 17, 18, 20, 21. I don't think they need to have kids.
No.
I got a rap song I'm gonna let you hear when we leave from an 8-year-old. I want you to hear and just know the route we headed down. I know his mama. You know what I mean? And just, just to say this, he ain't cussing at all in it. But he talking about killing his friend through the whole song.
Damn.
And I said, the only thing I didn't hear him say was that life sentence he gonna get for doing it. He tell you where he gonna do it at, how he gonna do it, and he ain't my friend no more and all this. But you left out that life sentence.
Bro, that's crazy.
People in the trick bag, because I heard you say it on here, they don't start making jail look cool.
Right.
They don't start making that look cool, so people thinking like, oh, no, that's cool enough. Guess what? Ain't no pussy in there.
Ain't no pussy in there, boy.
but that's what ain't in. That's what's not in there for a few. Cause they say COs be getting down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They say COs be getting down, but you got to be the man in there though. But we gotta be more selective with who we choose to father or mother our kids. I mean, that go for the man too. I can remember back in the day, if it was a bad thick girl, but I'm gonna put a baby in her. We used to talk stupid like that.
What?
But 20 years gonna have to go by, and that baby still gonna be here,
Still there,
and you
boy.
still gonna have to deal with this.
Mm-hmm. Somebody sent me something today that said, if you keep trying to prove you hard in the streets, you're gonna have to prove to the DA that you're innocent. And I'm like, boy, that shit cold. And that's what this music is doing, man. And if you listening to that popular music, now that drill, like, I was born in the 80s, you were born in the 80s, right?
79.
Look, close enough.
Yeah.
But we was dope boy era, hustling, getting money. That's what the music we was listening to. Now you don't hear them. They just talking about killing.
Yeah.
Like just killing. And then to your point where you talked about like, you were against the Bush. So I'm assuming now you like, yeah, let's do it.
I'm saying it's necessary. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't even.
And shit, I done paid for one before, so I ain't gonna sit here and act
like
I'm clean, so.
Like I said, I ain't always been like this. I probably don't pay for 6. You know what I mean? Like, this ain't. Yeah, this ain't. Yeah.
But, I was reading an article the other week, and I thought this was an astronomical. I had to go back and look. Like, this can't be right. That 72% of African American babies are born to single mothers? You realize how high a percentage that is?
Yeah.
And to your point, think of these single mothers who are kids. You know what I'm saying? Right. My daughter graduated this year. I remember when she was in 7th grade, I went to pick her up, and there was a girl out there pregnant. And I'm looking like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Now, how this girl go, God forbid if she had a son?
And understand this. See, when you get to deal with them stats and numbers like that, I guess you would say 3 of my kids was born of a single mother. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just cause, I guess the only way they calling you, both parents
if you married. Right. That's what it's based on. Right.
And we already know black people don't really just do that.
That's not appealing no more to get married.
Nah, it's not. It's not. Why would it be?
Yeah.
When everything on social media is telling you to be
ratchet. Hot girl.
Yeah, right, mm-hmm. right. Why would it be? You said this while ago about the music. Shout out to my boy Nord.
Shout out Nord.
He made playlists, right? He made Apple playlists. He made a 90s rap playlist, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. I went ahead and just dug all the way into it one day while I was out there working. I just dug all the way into it. But I'm digging to it with my conscious mind, of course. Mm-hmm. All you heard them rappers talk about in the 90s, like you said, now it's all about killing, drill, and all that right now. But back then, it was talking about going to jail. Mm-hmm. Like, prison that was during the time of mass incarceration, too. Mm-hmm. That crack era also brought on mass incarceration. It brought a lot of hustlers. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what they were rapping about then, and I was like, darn, I was listening to this stuff then, but I guess I really wasn't conscious of what they was really saying.
Mm-hmm.
But now I know what they saying, and I still listen to that. You know what I mean? Cause I like to bob my head. So.
Do you think we should? It's smart to let the kids listen to that.
No.
I don't think so either, man. But most parents, they just like, it's harmless. And I was telling one of my homegirls, man, like, she got a son, I think he's 13 now. And she had sent me a picture one time of him and her. And I said, you ain't ask him what he throwing up? What you mean? What he doing with his fingers? He just representing the neighborhood. What about the neighborhood is the sign? Like, you not asking, it's harmless. He ended up getting in some trouble a little while after that.
Right.
And I told him, like, see, you gotta look at these kids and see what's going on. Because the influence and you thinking everything innocent, because you come from an era, maybe it was innocent, to have little handshakes in the neighborhood. But now, these kids gotta be affiliated.
Yeah.
It's a must for them to be affiliated. That's why you see them arguing and picking sides when NBA Youngboy and Dirk beefing. Like, they are part of the game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But parents, they just kind of check out. Like, oh, man, it's harmless. And she was like, you know what? I do got to do a better job, because she said that's kind of what it was. He was, the fight that he got in and the trouble he got in was with some rivals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But ain't nobody paying attention to that.
Yeah, as far as them kids listening to that music, I used to, whatever I'm listening to, my kids was listening to, they was in the car with me. But I did have a little, because this stuff is getting in your conscience.
Boy.
Just like that music back then was getting into ours, whether it was making us hustlers, robbers, or whatever, it was still getting into our country. So I have, but you can't stop it all the way. Like, it's, the machine, the locomotive is just going so hard and fast that you can't completely stop it from listening to it. But you can't listen to it here.
Right.
You can't listen to it when you with me.
Yeah.
And the rest of the time you at school or playing sports. So
yeah, you
better get your listening in. You better find some kind of way to listen to it, but you can't listen to it. And that was kind of like an ironclad thing too, where they had the YouTube running. I was just listening at everything I was saying. I was like, damn,
man,
these some real killers on here, ain't it? And I always tell my kids that shit is wrestling. That shit is fake.
That's what it is.
Y'all be the ones trying to be real with it, but the ones who telling y'all to do it, I always tell them, but I slap the fire out of them.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll do nothing back.
Like, nah, man. And I was telling my old lady, this was probably about a year ago, we looking at a movie. Kids come sit down with us. I paused it. She kind of looked over. I said, I'm not about to watch no R-rated movie with no kids. I'm just not about to do that. Like, I don't even be comfortable.
No, I'm finna say, I don't feel like
feel
something crazy come on.
A sex scene come on. Now you got kids sitting there like,
I feel crazy.
But I see parents who will do that shit.
Yeah.
They'll sit down like, oh, it's harmless. And then they'll wonder why they 13-year-old come home pregnant.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, what happened? No, like, you can't. We have to protect the kids because, to your point, man, like conversations, and I hate when people use, oh, you think you woke now. No, nigga, it's called growth.
Yeah.
It ain't about you waking up. It's growth. Like, if you can't look back from certain increments of your life and see, okay, here I was here. Now I'm here. Now I'm here. What have you really done with your life?
Right.
Like, people just want to stay stagnant, not improve. So when I look at that,
they wear that as a badge. Oh, I'm still the same
I'm
nigga.
still the same.
Yeah.
But I'm the same nigga from back in the day.
Yeah, they wear that as a badge of armor.
Not realizing, bro, you really just put yourself in a box. Right. So when I'm looking at it now, that's what I've been trying to figure out. Like, what can be the biggest impact on kids, and whether we believe it or not, single mothers. Because the fathers, even some of the fathers, man, they just like, they focus is, I'm out here trying to make more kids. I was listening to y'all show, and y'all played the dude
You're the 7 kids.
with the 7 kids. And my old lady had sent it to me too. And I was like, man, that brother is just a lost soul.
He is.
He's a lost soul. Like, and there's no accountability. I was reading the comments on it, and a lot of people were saying, oh, well, he told him, but you still went through it to act.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean he told him?
That's a loser mentality, man. That's why
Boy.
it gets so much wreck. But you said you think it's the single mothers, right? Which you know, that's by design, and you right. But I think we got one over that now. I think social media is the biggest detriment to our kids at this point.
But I can't even argue with you.
And understand this: the single mama, she cool with them kids on that iPad all day.
Yeah.
Because guess what?
They
If
not
you
bothering her.
You ain't bothering me now.
Nope. You're not bothering me. Have at it.
Now I can scroll my Facebook all night long
Nope.
because I ain't got to worry about you because you on your TikTok. You know.
Don't gotta worry about it, man.
Now here we go. Here go a solution. Right? I'm telling you, man, this is I can't say it's new now because I've been doing it for, you know, I've been consciously seeking the truth for a while now is what I should say.
Right.
But every kid got these iPhones, right? They got them. I heard one of my friends say this, you know, his son get in trouble, take his phone, the son mope around the house for days, you know, like depressed. The parent get to feeling bad, and now they ready to get a phone back before the punishment has ended, right? Okay. I can see that wearing somebody down. I can see it. I actually can see that them kids moping around that house wearing somebody down. Not me.
I was about to say.
But
definitely.
I can see it, though.
Yeah.
I can see it. This me jumping into somebody else's shoes and be like, well, darn, I guess they, you know, you don't want to see you, you know, your boy like that or whatever, right? So, I still will take that phone, right? Just for grades or something like that. I will take that phone. But with these iPhones, what I did was with my child who got that aura, right? That can make people laugh and all this stuff. I put time limits on everything. Okay, you got an hour of Snapchat a day.
I like that.
So you had to use it wisely. Okay, you got 2 hours of YouTube, but YouTube help you with your homework. Instagram, they don't even care about that.
Yeah.
And I took TikTok off, and he can't download the app. I took it off altogether. I see no nutrients
Nothing.
in TikTok, but with Snapchat, that's how they communicate a lot with their friends and stuff. So you get an hour, and if he want more time, he got to come ask me.
Ain't no phones during the week in our house.
Oh, okay.
Get them on the weekend. Because what has started happening, they be so glued to them phones. Like, we just did a test one day. We coming back from my old lady homegirl house. She probably stayed 5 minutes from us.
Yeah.
So I see him in the back seat. I said, hey, go play a game. I don't know how to get home. Tell me how to get home.
No sense of direction.
You know how to get home? I said, I want you to tell me. How we get home? Couldn't tell me. We right up the street.
No sense of direction.
I said, hey, tell me this. What's our address? I don't know. Why? You 13, you 10.
Yeah.
But again, it's that social media, man. It had them kids so, it's like they in a fog.
Right.
That they just hypnotized, and it's like, boy, I don't care nothing but about this phone, this TikTok dance, this new YouTube show that's out. And if you really get deep into it, the people who created this stuff, they don't even allow their families to use that shit, man.
When I put them time limits on my son's phone, my other son said this. That's what them white folks be doing. And I was like, damn, I didn't know they did that. That's just something that I did. But speaking, I mean, when we talk about kids, I said this. My son be like, how are we still down now? Because, he hear me say little stuff. Mm-hmm. And I be like, hey, man, we came out of slavery, oppressed, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, then you had black code. Then you had Jim Crow. Mm-hmm. Then you had the segregation or whatever, that era. Then you had, I don't know if I'm saying the right timeline, but you had, at some point, crack hit us, right? Yeah. AIDS took out a lot.
Now we're opioids.
Not we.
Yeah, right.
Right. But I said, and at some point, rap music did a detriment to us too, right? I said, but now, the crack, the AIDS, the gangster rap, I said it's right there in your hand now. Mm-hmm. So what I do is, if he at the table and he on that phone, I like, well, put the crack down.
That's exactly
my other boy, I tell him this: put the pacifier up. Put the pacifier up. How you gonna be still running around here with this iPad? Put the pacifier up. Quit smoking crack. And they look up, they get mad as hell. But I be like, that's what it is now. That's the new dope.
Yeah, you right. Damn. Yeah, I like that. Man, listen, I ain't even realized time had flew. We had an hour in this thing almost. I'm definitely going to have to bring you back because we ain't even get into the village. And you mentioned that.
Up, man.
No, this was good shit. But you mentioned that Jim Crow, and it's crazy. Somebody sent me some shit where they trying to implement that back in Mississippi right now.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to talk about that next time, man. But, hey, tell the people they where to holler at you.
Y'all can holler at me on Talkers Talk Podcast for one, right? Mm-hmm. I got to plug us hard right here, man.
Yep.
Hey, Talkers Talk Podcast 864 on YouTube. Check us out. We love this visual going on right here, you know what I'm saying? We had to come get a piece of it, right? So, we visual now. Ain't no more excuse for people like, man, y'all ain't on YouTube. I hated to hear it, but not enough to actually do it.
But go support it.
Right.
Go support it.
We come out every week consistently unless somebody come with some bullshit or something like that. Other than that, we out every week. But Talk Podcast, you can follow me at Hail Mary 007 on Instagram. And that's all place I'm at, man.
Word, man. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you coming through. Again, man, it's truth. Episode drop on Thursday on YouTube. The audio episode drop Friday, all major podcast platforms. Once again, man, make sure you tune in. You go get this good uncut content that the media ain't gonna let you hear because they trying to silence it. And they didn't even hit my YouTube. They hit my YouTube for a video from my old lady podcast back in October saying that she gave out medical misinformation. So they have cut me down in the algorithm. They said that's my warning, and one more time, I'm going to lose my page. Y'all keep supporting me. I'm looking for another platform to potentially move to. But until next time, Mr. Stand On It Podcast, we out.
Come and sit down, you gotta stand on it. If it's for certain, let's have around, you gotta stand on it. Open the curtain, it's going down, you gotta stand on it. Cause I put my stamp on it, so you gotta stand. You gotta stand on it. 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 You gotta stand.